My Lord the Chief Justice of India, Justice Bhushan Gawai, the Honorable Law Minister, Shri Arjun Meghwal ji, Honorable Judges of the Supreme Court, Learned Attorney General for India, members of the Bar, our Vice President Mr. Rahul Kaushik, our Secretary Pragya Baghel, Bipin Nair, the President of SCORA and the Office Bearers of SCORA, our members of the Executive Committee. It's indeed a proud moment for celebrating this 79th Independence Day today of this great nation, which is considered to be the largest democracy and the truest democracy in this world. We imbibe all the values that the Constitution makers have provided for us. And when we talk of independence, independence is, the real independence of course was the being freed from the British rule. But the freedom from the British rule should culminate in independence or freedom for the people of this country. And when I say freedom of the people of this country, I mean the freedom which involves equality, security, freedom of thought, expression. And when you analyze the freedoms that come with independence, whatever it be, whether it be freedom of expression, thought, or of security, or of equality, or of choices, or of your preferences, your cultures, your religion, your diversity, then the only protector of all those freedoms is this great institution which is the Supreme Court. Ultimately, if one wants to get the benefit of what we achieved by freeing ourselves from the British rule, it is the judiciary which plays a very important role in ensuring that we get this real freedom. The freedom for the people of this country, the freedom for whom we fought for this independence from the British. And when we talk of the judiciary, we also expect, the people expect, that the judiciary should be bold, should be fearless, should be completely independent. And one of the features of independence is, of course, the appointment of judges in the higher judiciary. If we don't have the right people manning the judiciary, we can't expect the right decisions for the people of this country, and we then ultimately will not get the true freedom which we strived for at the time of independence. When the NJSC was enacted, all political parties had combined together to enact the NJSC, but the NJSC had two parts. One part was with regard to finding out the eligibility for people who should be considered for elevation and having a system of creating database for people who should be considered for elevation. And the other part was who will appoint these people from that database. The NJC was struck down on the second point, that the government cannot be given primacy in the appointment of judges to the higher judiciary, and I totally agree with that part of the judgment, that it has to be with the collegium. But the first part of NJC of collecting data and of preparing a database of lawyers who are eligible to be appointed was not even commented in that judgment, and accordingly I had drafted a law and given it to the predecessor of Mr. Meghwal for bringing out a bill to regulate the collegium system. The purpose was that the judges should have a secretariat where they should be able to collate all the names, all the eligible people, and ensure that the best people from the system are considered for elevation to the higher judiciary. Mr. Rijiju even mentioned in Parliament about this suggestion of mine. He said that there is a law which has been suggested, but unfortunately it did not see the light of the day. In the NJSC judgment, there is a mention of the memorandum of procedure. Unfortunately, that memorandum of procedure has not been deliberated upon for the large number of years now, and I'm quite hopeful that in the present dispensation, we can have a meaningful dialogue on the memorandum of procedure, which can bring in this transparency in the matter of appointment of judges, which can bring in this system of creating the database of people who should be considered eligible for being appointed to the higher judiciary, which can bring in I would say, a base for considering the Supreme Court lawyers to be considered on a regular basis for elevation to the various high courts, because ultimately the Supreme Court lawyers are as much eligible to be considered for the High Court as any lawyer practicing in the High Court, and the fact that they don't practice there should not be a disqualification, rather it should be a qualification, a higher qualification for being considered for elevation. Once this database is created by the MOP, and which should definitely have a method of even looking at lawyers practicing in Supreme Court for the purpose of creating this database, I think it will be a huge step of bringing in transparency in the appointment of judges, and that really will be ultimately giving the true freedom to the people of this country by ensuring that the best of the people in the system are considered for elevation, rather than the collegium judges only looking at people whom they see in their courtrooms and consider them for elevation. And the point that comes straight away along with this point is that most of the time the people the collegium see arguing are not the right people for elevation, because they are the ones who are probably wanting to make a career as a senior advocate. The lawyers who are briefing the senior are many a times the real merit in the system, who are actually faceless in the system. And probably if this memorandum of procedure is to be properly framed, I think all this talent can be properly looked at, and the best people can be considered for elevation. The other point of the freedom would be, and in the independence would be, that if the judges and the institution does not have proper infrastructure, justice delivery is suffering. And I'll beseech the Honorable Law Minister to ensure that there is a lot of emphasis on creating infrastructure in the entire judiciary, whether it be lower judiciary, higher judiciary, or Supreme Court. And while we are talking of infrastructure, there is a huge demand from the Supreme Court Bar Association to create this Bhagwan Das Road as a Supreme Court kind of a road, or a law road, or whatever, justice road, and have all buildings around the Supreme Court to be part of the Supreme Court larger facilities, which can house things like, for instance, we have a museum inside the high security area where nobody can go. But if the museum were to be relocated on the main road, on the Bhagwan Das Road, it would be a great way to showcase what this institution has done over a period of time. And the people of this country will have easy access to getting into the museum. So I think these are, of course, two issues which I thought I'll flag on this Independence Day, and I will beseech the Honorable Law Minister if he can devote some extra attention. I'm sure he's already concerned about all these issues, but if he can devote some extra attention, we will be giving the true justice and freedom to the people of this country, which we all deserve on this 79th Independence Day. Thank you.